Hello and welcome back. So now we were going to dive into your logo. And Canva has a beautiful library full of templates, but millions of people have access to those templates. So you definitely want to customize it. And better yet, if you have a basic idea in your mind, you can come up with a completely custom logo using Canva as well. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. Here's where we left off with our colors and fonts. We're going to go back into Canva. And if you type logo, you'll see that there's, let's see how many we have, 22,000 logo templates available to you. This is a great place to just start with, general inspiration. Let's filter this down to elegant, and let's also add art, and that's a good amount of filtering. That's 556 templates now. So this one I really like immediately. I'm drawn to that one. I'm also really drawn to this flower one, but as you see, that's a paid option. So let's just click on one of them. Let's click on flower. It's 500 by 500 pixels. So you'll notice that that's what the logo templates all are. That's where we'll start, and you can then resize your logo according to what you need using Canva. We're going to customize this template. And in order to remove watermarks, we have to pay $1.39 to access this premium image. So it very well might be worth it to you to access some pieces of this logo and license them. But from this inspiration point, we're going to go ahead and add a page and hop over to our mood board and grab our background color, F0EFE7. Let's change that there, F0EFE7. And then we can copy that color and paste it as our background color. There we go. So we are starting with our brand color as the background. We like this archway. We can copy that archway and paste it into our canvas. And this curved line of text here, we like that. So we're going to copy and paste that curved line of text. And then we're going to type in holistic wellness practitioner. And that fits pretty well. So we're getting closer and closer to a completely custom logo. Now let's see what else is inspiring in here. This is how I found the font combination for Carly EM Creative. I was browsing the templates. I chose, this one and that one and here and there. And I found pieces of certain ones that I liked. And then I just used a little bit of those elements in my finished product, like Gis Tessie font. That might be a fun logo font. It's a little bit too cursive and crazy, so you wouldn't want to use it as your heading font or anywhere on your website because it's not legible enough. But for your logo, it might work really well. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this font. And then I'm going to copy my dark green and make that green. Perhaps I stick my name inside the archway. So the point is just to get in there and have some fun. And I brought up the word fern earlier. So let's see what kind of ferns are free. That's a free fern. So let's put it in there as our green. Shrink it. turn it. Maybe turn it some more. Make it fit in this archway in ways. So now from this inspiration point, we're getting a little bit more custom. And I would encourage you just to make 20 different canvases, just to go nuts on the templates and try as many out as you like. For your icon, you can copy the exact same logo that you like, and then imagine that it's legible in this tiny little browser tab. Or you might be using a smaller version of your logo on social media graphics just to visually represent you. So perhaps you get rid of all that and you just put the C and the fern inside your archway and get rid of that line of text. Make these fill out your archway, and then that's your icon, for example. So you have a variation that's still on brand and that people will recognize as you. So depending on the shape that you end up with, of course, I want my archway to be my green too. But this element is not customizable. I cannot turn it green. So then I would just go in and look for an element that is customizable. A lot of these are pro. So again, you might justify getting pro just for 1 month, just to create your brand guidelines, or you can try square. So you can customize the color of the square. So you might end up going with a square instead. Now, this whole process, if it's not fun for you, then you might justify bringing your brand brief, your ideas, everything you create in this logo activity to a graphic designer and saying, hey, this is my starting point. Like, I don't need the crazy $700 package. I already did a lot of the work myself. I just think that it needs a designer's touch, and ask them if they're willing to work with your budget and help you refine it. You also might go to somewhere like Fiverr or Upwork, but the risk to going on those sites is that the designers might be reusing your art all over the place, and the deliverables are not promised. You don't know if you get very many revisions. They might just suddenly stop replying. So making a person-to-person like connection and making a relationship with your graphic designer ensures that when things come up, you have that person on your team. It's a community building thing. Of course, there are really great designers on Fiverr and Upwork who will be reliable and who will give you completely custom art. But do you want to have someone that you know, that you're supporting each other's businesses, or do you want to go with a cheaper option? Completely up to you. Obviously, doing your own from scratch is so far the cheapest option. But if you're really stuck on this and it's just not working for you, then consider going to someone else. So this obviously needs refinement. It's a square and an arch, they don't match. But just generally, you can see that in an hour, it is possible to create brand guidelines and then use that as your inspiration and starting point for your entire expansion and enrichment of your business. Making sure that it stays on brand with your brand essence and that you feel good about it. You feel good enough about it to go public, that is, because it's never going to be completely perfect. And the point is just to be seen, to be launched, and to express your gifts to the world. I hope you find that inspiring, because I know I'm inspired. So from here, let's say we are completely finished with our logo. The formats that you're going to want to export it in are available in this top corner. So we have the share button. We first click share and then we click download. And PNG and JPEG are the formats that you'll want to use for web. If you want your logo not to have a background, but to be able to go on a transparent menu on the header of your website, for example, it looks like you will need to get the pro version of Canva. I think you get the first month for free. So if you create a list of things that you need to get done in 1 month, you can get them all done for free in Canva, export all your materials, and then just have your brand package. You also might justify keeping Canva Pro because it is an incredibly robust graphic design tool and it's a pretty good price. Anyways, for now, this with a beige background is still on brand, so you can just download it as a PNG and a JPEG. Zoom your icon up to be the full canvas size as well, and then download that. And if you ended up with a rectangular logo instead of a logo that fills the whole square, then you're probably going to want to make a canvas that fits that size. So let's see, if we had Pro, we could resize the canvas to be 500 wide and only 250 tall. So then there wouldn't be so much white space above and below my end result logo, so that when you use your logo in your menu on your website or other places, there's not these gaps that you can't get rid of. So because we don't have Canva Pro and we can't resize right in there, we can just go back to the home screen and create a custom size that's 500 wide and 250 tall. Create a new design and then copy our completed materials and paste it. See, I could even try again and I could do a canvas that's 500 wide and 200 tall instead of 250 tall. I would create quite a few canvases until the amount of white space that's around it is the amount that I want, and then I would just download that version. So that's how you can resize your logo and save it for different formats for different purposes. Again, the transparent background does really elevate your look because then you can use your logo on your menu, for example. And as you can see, when I scroll, the color behind the logo is transparent. And I think that does definitely give you a more professional look than having a white box around it. But there are workarounds, and you can definitely add a consultation with me to this online class if you want some refinements and advice, or if you want to send me your brand guidelines and have me export your logo in all the formats that you need. I'm here to support you. I'm here to co-create with you, and I hope you enjoy the process. The point again is to get yourself launched, seen, and found by your ideal clients. You can't do that if you stay hidden and if you remain a perfectionist, refining and never going public. So I encourage you to get this done today, create your final product, and then you can use that to jump right into designing your deliverables. Thank you so much for tuning in for these workshops, and I'll be sure to include any additional notes that you need for exporting the different file formats in the space below the video. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you in copywriting for beginners as the next class if you bought the package. And if you didn't, then it's still available to you. Let's get that website done and let's get you found.